Hi everyone, it's Gail from Blue Rose Paper Treasures again. I think I confused a lot of people yesterday when I posted about using the foam sheets. So I thought I'd do a very quick video on explaining why I use them and a couple of different ways that I did use them. Probably won't catch many of you this time of day, but you can always watch the replay. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, I might have the camera up too high. Let's see. Right, so these were the three that I made yesterday. Now the reason I wanted to try something different is because occasionally I get some dies and I love to be able to use them as a stamp. I don't want to use a die cut, I'd like to use them as a stamp. So I did a bit of research and found out that you can buy these foam sheets and create your own stamps with them, which I thought was a really neat idea. Obviously the first time I did it yesterday, so I'm still having a little bit of a play with it. I had a bit of a play earlier and found some new things that I can do with it. So let's get started. Alright, so this was the seahorse card I did, and someone actually said to me, wasn't there a seaweed stamp in the set? No, there wasn't in that particular set, because that was the set that I used was Under the Sea, which came from the Sea of Textures. So there is little bits of seaweed in that set, but the actual die was the one that I used, and that was the one that I used for stamping. I don't know what I've done with that now. I think I ripped it when I tried to pull it off the block. And these longer ones in here was that die, which I think came out of the same, yeah, that came out of the same set. And there's no stamp for that. So I just wanted to use, I do like those bits of seaweed, but I wanted a nice long reedy type one. So that was why I used that one, and then I actually die cut a couple of little bits as well. So that was why I experimented with that one, because I was trying to find dies that I wanted to use to experiment with this technique. The next one was the Sail Away bundle, and I'll just grab that, the Sailing Home. So yes, there is an anchor, and yes, there is the rope, and there is, what was the other thing I used? The rope, oh, and the anchor, the rope, and the steering wheel. That's right, there's no steering wheel in that set. So that's why I used the dies for that. So I just die cut the anchor, the steering wheel, and the cute little rope. And I've just background stamped in different colours, so you can see that I've used all those. So it blended in nicely with the lighthouse, but it's, I mean, yes, I could have just stamped the anchor, but I wanted a nice thick bold one in the background, just lightly in the background. So that was why I used that set. And I'll just put that to the side. And the last one was the little sailboat. Now that one, I actually die cut the foam and then I coloured it. I don't know if you can see. I've actually got a few more here. I did the sailboat on that one. So it's just foam sheets, and I'll show you that in a sec. And before I stamped them with StazOn, then I coloured them, and then I die cut them. So they're very, very thin. They die cut so very easily. And I also did the ibis or egret, or whichever bird you want to call that. I did the lily pads, which I didn't like the colouring on that one. But once again, it just would add a dimension to the card to have something 3D on it. So that actually would go with that set. And then a couple of other little sailboats I did as well. So what I did with those, I'll move that out of the way. Alright, in Australia, you can get foam sheets, and they're actually called Ever sheets. Can you see that? My husband bought me these ones yesterday, God bless him, and they're in princess colours. So you get pink and purple, and I think there might be like a grey, and a couple of sheets of white. I bought some earlier, and these were a smaller A5 size ones, all different colours as well. I do believe if you go to like a craft shop, you can get all white sheets, but for the stamping it doesn't matter what colour it is. So they're called, in Australia they're called Ever Sheets. Maybe they're called foam sheets here, but that's just how we found them. These were $2.99, and I think they were $2.99 as well. And you just get them in the reject shops and cheap shops, and like I probably like Craft Online in Australia would have them. I haven't looked yet, but for $3, that's perfect. So I'll just put that over there. So as you can see, I've been having a bit of a play. Now the first thing I did, I saw someone else had mentioned putting double sticky sided sheets on the back of it, which is what I've done with that one. So what you do then is you die cut you can see all the shapes that I die cut yesterday, the anchor, the wheel and the bits of seaweed. And then when you put the sticky on, the double-sided sticky, you peel one sheet off and then put it on, so that when you die cut, the back of your image has got sticky on it. So then you can put it straight onto the block. Now I did that with all the ones I did yesterday, and it took me about 10 minutes to clean the blocks today. So I've gone with a different solution to doing this, but you would need to use some sort of double-sided sticky tape on the back if you're going to add them directly on. You don't have to, you could probably just use glue on the back of, if you wanted to do like 3D images. I probably won't be using the double-sided sticky sheets again, it was too messy. But this is why I do this for you, so you don't have to go and make all these mistakes. Alright, so that was that one, and you can see that was the one where I cut the seaweed out of it. And I did double sticky, which I won't do again. That was on the white, and that was when I cut the egret or ibis, I don't know what you're going to call that. And that's got the double sticky on the back, so you just peel off that layer and it's ready to stick straight onto a card. If you didn't want to do that, you could just put Tombow on the back of it. Now I've got nowhere to stick that. There we go. Got a bit of scrap. Alright, so then that would just stick directly on the card, and then you've got like a 3D little birdie on there. Alright, so that was what I learned. Don't use the double-sided sticky paper on the back. It's not necessary. Alright, let's go through it. So that's the foam sheet. So the first one, I had a bit of a play before, and I've come up with something more exciting. The leaves. Now these are, I'm obsessed with leaves. You'll probably notice on all my cards there's always leaves. There's leaves and branches. I love them both. This was the nice fern. I'm more obsessed with fern leaves actually. That's why I bought this die set. So you can see in the stamp set there's no leaves in that. But in the die set they come with that one, which is the one that doesn't actually cut out. But you get this fabulous little fern leaf in it. So I had to play with that. Now I've already done one there, so I'm going to put that aside and try not to shake the table, and I'm going to pull the big shot in. Alright, so it doesn't matter what colour, because you're stamping with them, so it doesn't really matter what colour. Now where did I just put that die? Oh, there it is. Alright, so I just cut a little bit of foam to the size of the die. And turn it over, of course, and then pop it in the big shot. Can you see that? Yep, you're in good. Alright, it die cuts so easy. It's a breeze to die cut. You don't need to adjust any plates, add any plates, take any away, just the standard cutting plates. Alright, and there's your little die. And it just pops out. Alright, but then what I discovered, if you die cut it again, and this is what I like. Sometimes you get one leaf or something in a set, but you want it to go the other way. So you want left and right, or mirror image ones. So using this foam, you actually can use the other side. So you have a left and a right one. It doesn't matter which side you use, because you're just cutting out foam, so you can have a left and a right one. So I'll show you how to attach it to the... Oh, I'm trying not... I noticed in my video the other day the table was shaking, so I'm just trying to be a little bit more cautious of doing that. Alright, so grab 2 blocks and some removable tape. And you just simply figure out, alright, just need a bit of tape, a couple of strips, and attach it. Now the beauty with these is as well, you can maneuver the parts and have things at different angles if you want them. So there's one stamp ready to go. Now this one we're going to put on that way, and it's not a very big block, is it? Use this block. That's the other one. Alright, so it's the other one. So, you know, if you wanted it to go straight, you could manipulate it to go straight. But I just kind of drop it as it is. Alright, and that's all you need, a little bit of removable tape. And then we get to stamping. And I don't think I had a bit, but I'm going to chop this. Alright, so now you have a little bit of scrap paper. Now, the thing with these is because they are so very thin, you can't press too hard on the ink pad. I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit juicy. Have a chamois ready, because if you press too hard on the ink pad, you get ink all over your block because it's not thick like a stamp. So it's just very gentle. Oh, I did a good one that time. Alright. And it gives you like a little watercolour effect as well, because the foam seems to spread it a bit more. So you can imagine doing a really light background with something bright at the front, and this just gives you a nice background image. Alright, we'll do the other one. Oh, look at me, I'm doing so good. I'm not. Oh, yep, I got a little bit. Alright, a little bit of ink on there. Just clean it. Right, and now you have left and right facing fern leaves. And then you can just go around. And the good thing, another good thing I discovered is when you stamp, you can keep going with it, because it gives you, and then it gives you a nice lighter one. So you don't really need to change colours. Oh, look, I'm doing really well. I'm being very careful. So do one, and then second generation. You can even do a third generation. So that's what I wanted to show you. The good thing about using these foam sheets is you can have mirror image stamps made up from your dies. So that was a very clever trick that I discovered a little while ago while I was playing around with it. Now the other one, this is a die from In the Tropics. And it's a tiny little fern leaf, but this one didn't just cut out the shape. It's got all the little indents in it. So what I did is I die cut that one, add a bit of sticky, and I will show you how to clean them, so don't panic. I'll use a different colour. Let's use something bold. This is just so you can see. It's not something I would probably do. So once again, now this is a very juicy pad as well. Oh, that was too hard. Yeah, it's too juicy, that one. Yeah, you have to know it's a bit, that one's a bit too juicy. But maybe if we're second generation, it'll, oh, that looks better. Looks better. So maybe stamp off and then stamp on. That's better. And see how you can see all the detail in that fern leaf? So what you could actually do, you could create a collage of stamps to put on a big block, like if you wanted lots of little flowers, and maybe that new setup we've got, this one, that Thoughtful Blooms. Oh no, because there's no dies with that, so no, don't worry about that, that was a stupid idea. But yeah, if you, oh yeah, the little flowers, that's right, this one's got all those little flowers in it and some more other little leaves. You could use foam sheets to die cut all those, put them all on a block, and then just do stamp them all at one time. So that's that. So see that? How cool is that? Alright, so get rid of that lovely lipstick. Alright, cleaning them. They are so easy to clean. Just use your chamois. Yesterday, because I had so many of them, I just ran them under the tap. Alright, and just stamp. Because that pink will stay in that for a bit, so I'll probably need to rinse that under the tap. Yep, that one's done. Oops, sorry. Let's clean those ones. And just give them a stamp to make sure. Yep, see, that's how easy they are to clean. When you're done, if you want to keep them, because we've only used removable tape, just carefully remove the die. And then you can just use some of our plastic sheet if you wanted to keep them for another use. Removable tape, and then just leave them on that and put them back in the box where the stamps are. So you've always got those handy. Alright, and the same with that one. Take it off. Oops. Add a little bit and attach it, and they're not going to come off. So that's how you can keep them and store them. Alright, now to clean the blocks, this is removable tape, but you're still putting pressure on it and it's going to stick a bit harder. Now I'm diabetic, and when I go and pick up my needle dispenser thing, they have all these little things that you can buy if you've got you can take, because it's a community centre, and they have these alcohol swabs, and I certainly hope someone from the community centre isn't watching. I use these before because I'm on insulin, these alcohol swabs, and they are brilliant for getting glue off. Every time I have a class, I use these to clean my blocks because my girls are a little bit messy, especially with Versamark, and that just came straight off. Alright, and just clean. You might need to rub a little bit, but usually that just all comes off. And you should really take care of your blocks anyway. And these are great for getting Versamark off. Some of my girls like to press really, really hard, and they get Versamark all over the acrylic blocks. And these alcohol wipes, so that's just all they are, little alcohol swabs. And look at that, looks brand new block. Alright, the other thing that I started to play with, but I haven't really got a handle on it yet, is mirror imaging. So what I've done is I've die cut the kangaroo, the outline of it. I've die cut that on sheets twice, and I've stamped the kangaroo. I just discovered this. I thought this was a pretty clever idea. It needs more practice, but just to give you an idea, one of the things I managed to do was to get a nice colour all over the kangaroo. It's very easy to line up, and I just inked up the kangaroo, and then I just lined it up over. Oh, sorry, my head was in the way then. Oop. And there you go. Then you can die cut that, and that gives you a nice overall colour on your kangaroo. You can use blends, I guess, to make a little bit more colour, but I just thought that was a really neat idea. And the other thing was, using the two kangaroos, this is how you could do mirror imaging. You could do this with the cats and the dogs, and oh, it's endless what you could use this for. So you're just going to stamp it. Oh, that one didn't come out. Oh, didn't get it quite on there. Oh, I'll grab another bit. Alright, so if you wanted to find if you have a die that you think, oh, I'd like to do a mirror image of that. This is a bit bold, but just to give you an idea that this is something that you could do with it. And then just do your mirror image. I think the fact that you can turn them over and make them left and right, oh, I did that very straight, but you get the idea. And that's just by die cutting it twice and just turning one over. The last thing I will show you, and then I'll have to sign off, is where did that white, whoops, sorry, not there. Alright, to do these images, I might just grab a stamp. Whoop. Which stamp should I use? What shall we colour? We need a stamp that's got a die cut. Oh, I can't find one now. Oh look, I'll use the kangaroo because it's here. Alright, I'm just going to do it this way. Just clean that block. Alright, I've got enough room on there. Oops. Alright, so this is where the stinky stays on comes into it, and I hate this stuff, but you need this with the foam sheets because Versamark doesn't work. So anything like this, you need the permanency of the stays on. So the same thing, just ink it up. I probably could have just used that one because I've got the die cut for the lighthouse. How stupid of me. But I just want to show you the stamping. I just hold it for a little bit, but not press too hard. Oh, that worked out really well. And there's your kangaroo. So what you would do there, if you wanted to, is these, I don't know what colours these are. And you all know that I suck at colouring. So what I would do is I'd colour it while it's on here. Yeah, I'm not very good at colouring. Probably should have started with the lighter one. So colour it while... Oh, that's run a bit because it's still wet. Oh dear, I didn't wait for it to dry. Look at me being over eager. It is very humid here today too, so I probably should... Yeah, so make sure that that's dry before you start colouring it, or you'll end up smudging it like I just did. I did press fairly hard on that too. Alright, so say that's what you wanted to do. Not very good colouring as usual. And then you would die cut it. And then just add to, if you wanted to put that on a card, I'll die cut that. You can see that again. I'm trying so hard not to rock the table. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm just getting the lighthouse one since I'm going to be die cutting. I might as well die cut both. Alright, so the lighthouse. Oh, it kind of just went right in position. That doesn't normally happen. And there's your kangaroo and the plate. Sorry if that moved the camera then. There's your nice little 3D kangaroo, and I'm getting this stays on all over me. And there's the lighthouse. So that'll look really good. If you did that in the Night of Navy, that'll look really nice on a card. A nice little 3D lighthouse. And there's your little kangaroo. Isn't that cute? I just thought that was a really neat idea. And the last thing I'll show you, because this was just a fluke, because one of the colours I got in that set was brown. Look at that. That almost looks real. That branch. I die cut that in there. And you could use either side of that. So if you're putting it on a card, you can actually have left and right. Yay! And that was just so easy to die cut. But that was only luck that I had the brown in there and I saw the colour and went, oh, I want the branch, I want the branch. So I'll just show you, just pop it on. So I think I'll be doing some autumn cards, even though we're coming into autumn? Yes, we are. We're coming in. Can't get here soon enough. It's so freaking hot. Alright. So if you do get a coloured pack for things like that, you don't even need to do anything with that. So if you wanted, cut part off it, if you just want a little bit to extend it, or if you want left and right, although that's a bit upside. No, it's not. There you go. Left and right. So that was something I discovered a little bit earlier. There's probably lots of other things you could do with it, but that's all I've discovered so far, and I think that's enough to give you an idea and explain why I used the foam to create stamps. I thought it was a very neat technique. Okay, well that's all for me today. I probably, like I said, I probably didn't catch many of you this time of day. I don't normally do them this late in the afternoon. So I'm going to go clean up all my mess again, because I like a very clean table when I start my next project. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.